For some, it's not all fun and games. It can mean major stress. So here to help the natural way, holistic physician, Dr. Jared Scourin. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, Carrie Lee.
So here we go. We've got Halloween out of the way. Thanksgiving is just around the corner.
Yep.
For many people, this is a really happy time. Other people are thinking already. They're tugging on the hair, ready to pull it out.
The family's coming, the in-laws are coming over, and everybody's ready to arrive. So, you know, this month and a half in November and December is very stressful for a lot of people. Most people can handle that stress, but for some people, it's just too much. And so we're trying to give those people some techniques so they can get through the holiday season without being too bad on the way out.
Now, you have some really practical ways to get ahead of this. Try to get ahead with a little planning and organization.
Right.
What can you pass on there?
Well, the first thing is to make sure that you're organized. So make sure that you have a planner, okay, so that you're planning out all the things you need to do. The purchasing, the recipes, the planning, the cooking. What time am I going to do everything? So make sure that everything is planned out and laid out. Once that's planned out and laid out, most people forget to do two things. The next one is ask for help.
Oh,
okay?
True.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
We can do it all ourselves. No, we can't.
I know.
Yeah.
You don't need to be the hero because that's
right.
going to stress you out too much.
Yep.
When you've got it all laid out in front of you, you can ask people, do this one individual step for me, even if it's something as simple as set the table.
Can I bring something? We always say, no, I've got it covered.
Right.
But isn't it nice when someone shows up with something?
It's wonderful. And what you want. So
and what
have
you
it
want.
planned
Yeah,
and
delegate.
don't be afraid to ask.
Good. Okay.
And the other thing is don't be afraid to say no. Okay? So if somebody is asking you for too much, you don't have the time, it's okay to say no. I'm doing this. This is all I can handle right now.
That's really smart. We're scared to say no. We don't want to hurt feelings, but then it's worse if we show up and we're stressed out. No one wants that.
Right.
All right, and get sleep.
Always get sleep. It's the most important thing that we can do.
And the hardest thing that we
But
can
for some
do
people,
as well.
those techniques aren't enough. It might be actually something internal and hormonal that you need to get investigated by your
Let's
doctor.
talk about the hormones, because that does play a component here as well.
Exactly. Some people, stress is just a little bit too much. Maybe life has been excessive for them. There is a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol analyzes how you handle stress. If you have too little cortisol, then you tend to get easily frustrated. If you have too much cortisol, you tend to get hyper. So we can analyze cortisol throughout the day because it changes throughout the day.
And how does this graphic help us do that?
Well, this is a great graph because what we normally do is we sample cortisol 4 different times through the day. In the morning, at lunch, the afternoon, and before bed, because that hormone level will change throughout the day, just like sugar levels will change through the day. So we can sample it 4 times a day and make sure your cortisol is good all throughout the day long. What we normally see in a lot of our patients is they wake up and they're good, but then mid-afternoon they crash and they're done for the rest of the day. That's when we need to treat these people, is when they're having that crash.
One way to treat it is by what we're eating. Is there a diet that will help stress?
Well, I think the most important thing, and what we tell our patients, is that when you're stressed, you're going to go for more caffeine and for more sugar.
True.
So
quick, we want it fast.
We
Help
want
us
it
now.
fast. We want that rush to get us through the next hour.
That's right.
But as we all know, too much sugar, too much caffeine, we crash right after. Okay? So what I like to tell my patients is take your coffee and alternate with green tea. Green tea has a lot of chemicals which are actually extracted for certain natural supplements that help with stress and anxiety.
So many reasons for green tea, right? And
it's great.
People often try it and they realize they get these results. They're like, wow, had I known it was that easy, I would have been drinking green tea years ago.
Well, exactly. And you don't need to go off your coffee, but at least alternate, 1 cup after another.
Cut it down maybe,
Cut it down. And the other thing to exchange is your different sugars. Okay, you're going for the sugars, you're going for the desserts because you want that quick rush.
Right.
Decrease your sugar, switch to something like honey or agave or stevia, something that doesn't give you that crash afterwards, so you can last throughout the day.
I didn't realize that would help with the crash. Have honey instead. You're still getting the sweetness.
Exactly.
But you're not going to get that crash. I didn't realize that.
Right.
Okay.
So, and there's also different natural supplements that we can use. One of the most common ones is B vitamins. You want to make sure you use the right B vitamin.
Is that the mood one, the vitamin that helps with mood?
B vitamins help with almost everything. Mood is one of the things.
Yep.
B is for brain. It helps make all those chemicals in the brain like serotonin and dopamine, the things that make you feel good.
Right.
But you want to make sure you have the right kind. So you need to look at your labels. My favorite example is vitamin B12.
Yes,
you want a
we hear a
form
lot about that.
called methylcobalamin. The most common form is called cyanocobalamin. That's actually a combination of B12 and cyanide. Who wants that in their vitamins?
What?
So
that's good to know.
And there's different herbs that can help regulate your cortisol levels, but you need to test, because if it's too low, you want to build it up. If it's too high, you want to bring it down so you can last throughout the whole holiday season.
And if you have any questions about any of this, you can always talk to your physician if you need to, right? If you have
Always
questions
should.
if this is for me or not. Okay, Dr.
Exactly.
Scourin, thank you so much. I feel better already.